Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about the newest update on Courtney Clenney. We know she unalived Christian Obumseli, and she claimed all this time it was self-defense. It was self-defense. You know, a lot of people make these claims, and when you really see the case, it was no self-defense at all. Okay. And in this case, it wasn't either. She was a bully, and she would call him the N word. And you could see she would go into these rages all the time. She had no control over her temper. You know, what do they say? Only an animal can't control their temper. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. So anyway, she is now jumping up to take this plea deal. Now, what exactly the plea deal is, I don't know. They are not revealing it. I believe she got an upcoming court date of August 10th. But look like she's no longer trying to fight it. I don't think she can. And I think she realizes that self-defense, it is just not something she can plea. I think they probably. So remember, she wants everybody to believe she tossed a knife. It went in his chest. That's what she wants everybody to believe. So y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. All right. Do you see my screen? How come I don't see my screen? I don't even see my screen. There we go. Thank you. Oh.
So Courtney Clenney has decided to accept a plea deal. I swear everybody has been accepting plea deals this year. All of the trials that I have been looking forward to have pretty much gone the plea deal route. It is what it is. I'm going to deal with it. Now, she was expected to start her trial in August, mid-August. I believe it was like the 15th or the 17th, something like that. And they've been really kind of delaying things, honestly. So her trial should have really happened before now, because the actual murder that she was, accused of happened back in April of 2022, and she is an OF model. So it's been a lot of buzz around her because she's very attention seeking. And so anytime she got into the courtroom, it was a show to be had, because that was just definitely who she was, and is honestly. But she was accused of taking the life of her boyfriend Christian, and she tried to say that it was self-defense, that he was abusing her throughout their relationship, that she was just defending herself, after all of these numerous times that he's done this and that. Their relationship was very tumultuous, back and forth between the two of them. There are numerous recordings of their fights and things of that sort throughout their relationship. So it definitely gave that it was a mutual situation. But her stabbing him on that day, April the 3rd of 2022, definitely gave it was not self-defense. Okay, just saying. Now they are tight-lipped about the actual details of the plea that she has accepted. They do have the plea hearing scheduled for August the 10th, so we will of course learn those details and what the requirements are going to be then. She was charged with second-degree murder, so we do not know if she is accepting the second-degree murder. She's accepting a lower charge. How long she'll be in prison, things of that sort, because she's already a short period of time. How much time longer does she have? I honestly think it's going to be a deal that is around like a 10 to 15 year kind of time frame. Honestly, that is what is given, but they've been tight-lipped, so all we can do is wait until they get to August 10th and tell us what happened. Unless somebody sneak the information out, but I think they would have done so by now. But I'll be patient and wait and see what is those details. I am Keisha. The channel name is Court with Keisha.
Well, a plea agreement has been reached in the Courtney Clenney case, the OnlyFans model who unalived her boyfriend, Christian Toby Upsala. Let's talk about it. Now, my OG followers already know, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. If you're not following the Black Death Society, please make sure to do so. This is a space in which pop culture money and real life meet. Now, if you remember, in April of 2022, Courtney was charged with second-degree murder for unaliving her boyfriend, Christian Toby Upsala. All along, Courtney has been claiming that she acted in self-defense because, according to her, Christian Toby Upsala was abusive to her. I've been tracking this case over the years, and many of Courtney's friends have come out in actual defense of Christian, saying that it was actually Courtney that was the abuser. Now, let me be honest, this case was a mess from the beginning. It was very sensationalized for a lot of different reasons. And I know that Christian officially wanted people to come out and really advocate on his behalf. However, as the internet often does, you know that your digital footprint is what? Forever. Because now people are taking the approach to say, we want to know what you were about. And when people got to digging into Toby's background here, they found that he made some very, very problematic, misogynistic comments and remarks about Black women, and you already know what was the result of that. Not only was Toby's remarks misogynistic, they were colorist, and honestly, they were downright disgusting. And his family did come out in defense of Toby, saying that many of the remarks that he made online about Black women were done when he was a teenager, and they went as far as to apologize on his behalf, and still hoping that the public and the community would come out in defense. They truly believe that an injustice was being done against Toby, and basically a character assassination was happening. They wanted to make sure that justice was served in this case. Well, we're going to have to wait to see if justice is truly served in this case. And on August 10th, 2026, a hearing will take place to determine how much time Courtney will actually serve. In the state of Florida, the minimum amount of time can be given for a second-degree murder is 16.75 years. So that's the minimum amount of time, according to state law in Florida, she could be given. As we know, with good behavior and time served, she could probably be out much sooner. But as always, I want to hear from you. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think about this case. How much time do you think Courtney may actually receive? And last but not least, do you think that justice was served in this case? Sound off. If you found value in this post, please make sure to like as well as share. And don't forget to follow for more Desk Talk.
Courtney Clenney, the OF model who murdered her boyfriend in 2022, has agreed to a plea deal. This comes after she has claimed for the last several years that she murdered her boyfriend in self-defense, but it's unclear if she is pleading guilty to the second-degree murder she was charged with or to a lesser charge. On April 3rd, 2022, 27-year-old Christian Toby Obumseli was stabbed in the torso with a kitchen knife. His estranged girlfriend, 26-year-old Courtney Clenney, an OF model and influencer with over 1 million followers, claimed she stabbed him in self-defense during an argument. In the 911 call, which was released after Clenney's later arrest, she was heard apologizing to Obumseli after stabbing him. He can be heard in the call saying, "I can't feel my arm," and Clenney was begging the 911 operator for help. He later died from his injuries. When police arrived at the scene, Clenney told them that the two had been fighting and he had physically pushed her up against a wall, so she went to the kitchen to grab a knife. She claimed she was protecting herself when she threw the knife at Obumseli. However, the medical examiner determined that Obumseli's injuries were from a forceful downward thrust, not from a throw. Clenney was arrested and charged with second-degree murder in August 2022, and more has come out since then. Asked officers for a restraining order against Obumseli. They arrived at their apartment when they received a call about a domestic disturbance. She told the officers that she had broken up with Obumseli the week before and that he wouldn't leave her alone, telling them, "I'm scared of him at this point." One of the building's security guards told the officers that he was there when Obumseli came charging toward her. However, footage from an elevator in their building showed a different story. In this footage, Clenney was seen repeatedly hitting Obumseli and him basically not hitting her back, just trying to defend himself. Whether or not Obumseli's murder was self-defense has remained a question over the last several years. Clenney pleaded not guilty and has been awaiting trial, a trial that was set to begin in just a few weeks. But now it is being reported that she is scheduled for a plea hearing on August 10th. Her lawyer said in a statement that she has reached a plea agreement but declined to elaborate further ahead of the hearing. So it's not clear if she's pleading guilty to second-degree murder or a lesser charge and what her sentence will be. But we will know more what she pleads to and what that sentence will be in a matter of just 10 days. So stay tuned.
Tonight, just a shocking last-minute twist in the case that's been dubbed the OnlyFans murder. Courtney Clenney has reached a plea deal with prosecutors in connection with the 2022 killing of her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. Although the terms of that deal haven't been made public, her attorney says the agreement doesn't become final unless it's accepted by the judge, which we'll talk about. But I got to say, before the deal, this was shaping up to be a hard-fought trial. I'm talking evidence that is equally both shocking and hotly disputed. Now, to recap, Courtney Clenney once lived a glamorous life as an OnlyFans model, right? Known online as Courtney Taylor, nearly 2 million followers, luxury cars, high-end Miami high-rise. She seemed to have the perfect life with her boyfriend, Obumseli, until April 3rd, 2022, because that is when Clenney frantically called 911 after prosecutors claim she plunged a serrated knife into her boyfriend's chest. You got to hear what is believed to be Obumseli's final words.
I can't feel my arm.
Ma'am,
My boyfriend is dying of a stab.
ma'am, what is the address?
What's up? 3131 Northeast 7th Ave. Please, God, please, come see my boyfriend.
Ma'am, is this a house apartment or a business?
745-2582.
Is this a house apartment or a business?
Baby, I'm so sorry.
You know that was going to be an important piece of evidence if this went to trial. And when cops arrived, Clenney was apparently seen covered in blood. She was charged with second-degree murder. She pleaded not guilty. She was claiming she acted in self-defense. Prosecutors, they disagreed. They pointed to surveillance video, seemingly showing Clenney striking Obumseli in a condo elevator, along with other evidence they said undermined her account of what happened. And until today's announcement of a plea deal, this case was set to go before a jury next month. Timing is especially surprising because it was just a few weeks ago when her lawyers had asked a judge to let jurors see all these text messages and other evidence they said would show the victim, that show that she was the victim, that Courtney's boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, that he was the one who abused Clenney, according to court documents that were obtained by the New York Post. So why would a defendant who's maintained self-defense for years, who was planning this defense, who was planning all this evidence, agree to a plea deal? For that, you know who I'm bringing in, legendary trial attorney Mark Garagos. He's also co-host the podcast Reasonable Doubt, Two Angry Men. Good to see you, sir. Why'd you do it?
How are you? Why'd she do it? I would think, obviously, because she got a deal or an offer she couldn't refuse. And I suspect that when we find out if the judge accepts the plea and accepts the sentence, that it will turn out that they basically made the calculation that it wasn't worth the risk of a trial, and they got an offer that was something she could live with.
What do you think that was? Do you think it's manslaughter? Do you think it's a less? Is it second degree, but a lesser
I would
sentence?
imagine, yeah, I would imagine it's a manslaughter and it's a fixed, determinate sentence under that state law. I can't imagine that she would ever take anything that wasn't determinate or that wasn't a reduction. Based on the evidence I've seen, this is at worst a mutual combat, and so she had a pretty good defense, and she made that calculation.
Do you think the judge would accept it? Is there any chance that the judge could reject it, and if so, for what reason?
I've had judges reject deals, most recently in Los Angeles, not once, not twice, but 3 different times with 2 different judges. So there's always that chance. Anytime there is a media spotlight on a case, that increases the chance that the judge is not going to go along with the deal, especially if the deal is objected to by the victims or the victim's close family members.
Okay, y'all. I don't know how much his family is going to fight on this. He's Nigerian. He's Nigerian. Can you hear me now? All right, hold on. Let me go out and come back in.